Hello, I'm Katie and welcome to In the Studio. Today I'm joined by Becky James, who's going to be showing us this really fun Halloween bunting banner. We're going to be focusing on using your dies in some exciting new ways and also using everyday products for a seasonal occasion. Hi Becky, welcome along. Now I'm here holding your Halloween bunting. This looks pretty impressive.
Oh, thank you very much. I had real fun making this one, I have to say.
Good, it looks fantastic.
So let's get the bits and pieces together here for the actual bunting bases. So I've got, this is the plain bunting that we've got that we can use to make.
Wonderful.
And it's your traditional style bunting pennant kind of idea. And what I've done first of all is I've actually embossed it with the A4 Delicate Flourishes embossing folder. And I've also cut to the widths that I want. Now you can decide what you want your own widths to be when you're layering. But what I've already done, a slightly wider piece of the purple glitter, and I've got the Midnight Blush here, which is going to go over the top.
Okay.
But I'm going to show you how we can make sure that we get the V's perfect so that they'll matte and layer together.
Okay,
properly.
brilliant.
So what I've done is at the top, this is actually a 4-inch wide piece of paper. And what I've done is I've marked halfway along so that I can draw a line right down the centre.
Okay.
So we'll do that now. There we go. So what we're going to do to make sure that we've got a perfect V to exactly match this one, because that can be quite difficult because you can cut your V's out at different inclines and things and they won't look the same, is I'm going to, if you can see, I'm just matching up these sides here with the corners there. So if I just move that down like that, can you see?
Yeah.
And then I want my centre here to be along this centre line that I've drawn.
That's a great idea.
So do that. And all you're going to do is just draw your line there, and you're going to cut that out. And we'll do exactly the same with the Midnight Blush.
Brilliant.
Right, so there we go.
Beautiful.
Right, so next thing I want to do is to add a bit of colour. So I'm going to add a bit of colour to this paper here. Now, what I've chosen is because I'm trying to give it a slightly dark but vintagey feel to it, I think, to the whole project. And so I've chosen here, I'll just pick up the colour so you can see, this is the dark orange dye Artiste ink pad, and the black as well. So if I just pull this up so that you can see it now, you can see that this colour, it will actually take the colours pretty well. Yeah. And if you want to, you can build up your colours much more deeply. I'm only going to add a sort of a soft feel so that it's in the background. I don't want it to clash with the bright colours of my embellishments. And now we're going to put our bunting together. So what I'm going to do is I'd actually like this to hang a little bit lower than our base.
Okay.
Because when you're matting and layering, things don't have to be perfectly on top of each other. No. You know, you can add them at different levels and things like that. So just for a bit of interest and to add a bit of depth and dimension, we're going to do that. So I'll just, first of all, get glue runner here. Add a bit of glue there. And we're going to pop that a little bit way down. Now, the other benefit in doing this is it can be really quite difficult to stick things to glitter paper.
Okay.
Usually I would use either 3D foam or a glue gun.
Okay.
But they're dimensional and I want to keep this quite flat. So when I'm adding my next level, which is going to be my Midnight Blush, it's going to be much easier adding it across the top here. I won't have to attach it to the glitter paper.
Very clever.
What I want to do first of all though, just again to add that little bit of touch of detail, I'm using my doweling. This is LVCC doweling from the cake decorating range, which I use this for shaping my flowers and my pendants and things like that all the time. So I'm just basically curl them and then you get this lovely flick up.
Gives you that feel of it sort of blowing in the wind.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely, yeah, that's it.
A spooky breeze.
Yeah, that's it, absolutely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a bit of glue across the top there. I can decide where I want this to be and I'm going to put that so that I see a bit of the purple underneath. I'll hold it up in a minute so you can see what I mean. Just pop that across there, and I can trim off what's the excess there. But can you see here, you can see a nice bit of the purple under there as well. So again, I've got some green Paper Mania textured cards, and I've made a border, and I've used, this is one of my favourite actually, I'll just pull this up. This is the Diamonds border punch. I love this one. And I kind of like the fact it's got the jaggedy edges and things like that. So I'm going to use that to create my border. Now once again, get my roller this time, and I can move that right the way across the top, line my border up. There we go, and that's it. All I've got to do is, and that's the base of my bunting. So now we're going to talk a little bit, and to show you a little bit of things about using our dies to create some of the imagery that we're going to have on the project. So first one is, I've already made him up, and you can actually see another video of us using this.
He's a bit of a fan favourite, the little owl. Yeah, Becky made a beautiful mini card, which you can find in a past episode, using the owl die, and he's just adorable, isn't he?
He is absolutely adorable. And here we've taken it with a completely different feel to what we did last time. I mean, we've really used the Halloween colours here. I absolutely love these little buttons for his eyes.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah. The next one is actually, we're going to make the pumpkin. And the pumpkin actually starts off, believe it or not, with some oval dies. So we've got 2 of the nesting ovals. One, it's the smallest one in the next size up. And the smallest one is what we use to make the centre, and I'm going to show you how we shape it and put that together. And then the smaller ones, they become the part that goes around the outside, and they actually add, because if you think of pumpkins having the ridges as they go round, they're going to add the ridges.
Yeah, that's really clever.
So first of all, I'm just going to show you how to shade these as well, because shading adds to the whole dimension. So we're going to just shade them. So the big pumpkin, I'm going to have to come back and shade him a little bit afterwards, because I'm going to make a little bit of a change to its shape. But if I go around to start off with, I can work with it afterwards. But also put a bit of shading of your ink in the centre.
Okay.
And that reason will become apparent in just a second. Because what we're going to do is we're just going to trim off into like the top of a heart almost.
Oh yeah.
This sort of shape at the top and the bottom. I'm going to bend it slightly in the centre there, and then I'm going to use my doweling just to pull out the edges like that.
Fab.
And that starts to give you, and by having put the ink down the centre, that actually I don't want to say highlights the shadows, but that doesn't sound right at all. But it deepens the shadows.
Yeah, so emphasises it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's it. So we'll just do that. And then we're going to leave the smaller ones as they are. But just round the one side of each one, you can just highlight with the ink. We just basically, if you can see, we're just layering them up like this.
That's so simple.
It is really, really simple. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. So the next one is my my gravestone. And again, this uses the oval die, and this is a larger oval die. But we're starting off with the base, just being the main oval. We're going to just add, as I said, again, a little bit of ink around this, and I'm just going to take my orange, and I'm basically going around the edges, and this is, again, it's kind of giving just that little bit of a dramatic feel to it, I suppose. So now you can see that ink's actually there.
Yeah, looks great.
So I'm going to get a white gel pen, Paper Mania gel pen, and I'm going to get my ruler, and starting at one point, and it doesn't really matter where, but if you want to, you can mark it. I'll start from about there. I'm just going to draw lines radiating out from there, and don't worry if it doesn't draw perfectly or anything, because actually spiders' webs, they're all a little bit bitty and everything like that, aren't they? So it's really easy to put this together. I'm just going to get my glue dots here. I'm going to put a little run of glue just across the base of this. And I'm going to stick, first of all, I should just say, I've got 2 slightly smaller, I'll put the dimensions on, but 2 just slightly smaller in width.
Okay, yeah.
Strips here, and we're going to add them on like that. The smaller one first, and the reason for the smaller one first is that would be the one that's furthest away from you, so it would appear smaller. So now we're going to put our banner together.
Good.
With this one, I've still got to put some holes in, so I'm going to use my X-Cut screw hole puncher.
Lovely.
And we're just going to pop a couple of holes in. So now we're going to thread them onto some string.
Very nice.
So
rustic.
It does actually, but also threading it through onto the string, what it does is it gives you that little bit of detail across the border as well.
Yeah, that's really good.
So it's a clever way of doing that whilst being practical at the same time.
Yep.
And I'm going to make sure my middle one is pretty much in the middle of my string. There we go. So just to show you another way that you can sort of take your Midnight Blush range and really bling it up, make it real Halloweeny, is using the pinwheels. And what I've done here is I've inked the pinwheels, and then I've taken the centre button out and I've actually replaced it with a circular punch piece of green glitter card and a button. This is actually from the Create Christmas range.
Oh yeah, of course.
From the button and ribbon pack. Right, so putting these together, I'm just going to show you one.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is I'm going to put a blob of glue on here. Nice big blob of glue, that's fine. And then we're just going to move that up so that they're quite close together. Ooh, get my fingers straight. And then we're going to adhere that between the two. And then what we're going to do from there is I've got a nice piece of black that I've die cut, or punched actually, I think this is punched. Let's turn that over, and then we're going to seal that at the back whilst the glue's still hot. And that's how it sort of sticks the two pieces together, so that you get it stuck together like that, and you've got that little bit of decorative detail there.
Brilliant.
And then from there, all it is a case of is just taking your images and then sticking them to the front of the banner.
Fantastic. We hope you've enjoyed watching Becky's project today. This fun Halloween idea can of course be recreated in a Christmas theme or maybe for a birthday. Just change your colours and the little bits and pieces that you pop on your bunting. If you've been inspired to craft, why not upload your projects to docrafts.com? People can pop along and leave you some comments, and you can share your ideas with everybody else there on the website. We'd love to know what you think about in the studio. Leave us a comment below and we may use your idea or answer a question on a future episode. Until next time, happy crafting.